And I can remember very distinctly coming home from school that Friday afternoon, and the housekeeper that was working with us at the time was sitting on the sofa. She was in total hysterics. The world had changed that afternoon. It had done so in our backyard. I can also remember coming home from church on Sunday morning to my grandmother's house. It was shortly before 11:30. Lunch was on the table. We were getting ready to have our meal. In the southeast corner of the living room was a black and white television set, and the news was on, because that's all it was showing. And I remember watching in total disbelief as Jack Ruby stepped from between those television cameras. He shoved that gun into Oswald's ribcage and pulled the trigger. That was the first live murder ever captured on television. A lot of folks didn't know that, but it was. There were a lot of firsts that happened with this particular event. The first time television coverage in our country ever came within 24 hours. It was also the first and only time that the casinos in Las Vegas turned out the lights and locked the doors. They haven't done it since, but they did it in honor of John F. Kennedy. So folks, allow me to take you back to 1963 and share with you the story behind the story, if you will, of why certain people made the decisions they made that led to a chain reaction of events that cost the president his life here in Dallas, Texas. Motorcade came one block down on Houston Street, where it turned right here onto Elm Street into Dealey Plaza. Whenever it made that turn right there, it was precisely 12:30. That's when the unthinkable happens in Dealey Plaza.
Parkland Hospital, there has been a shooting. Parkland Hospital has been advised to stand by for a severe gunshot wound. I repeat, a shooting in the motorcade in the downtown area.
Chaos, confusion, bedlam, grip, Dealey Plaza. People running for cover everywhere as they do. They're pointing back to the warehouse where shots were seen fired from. The motorcade slams into high gear, picking up speed as it goes beneath this bridge.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
1:01 in the afternoon, Lee Harvey Oswald walks through the front door of this house right here, 1026 Beckley Street. That's where Oswald had rented a room. He walks into that rooming house room. He stays there for less than a minute, and he picks up two items. The first, a 38 caliber pistol he ordered from that gun dealer in Chicago, and the second, a light-colored zipper jacket. He puts the zipper jacket on, the pistol in his pocket, comes out the front door, and starts making his way through the neighborhood. Oswald steps back away from the car and starts standing over by the sidewalk. And Officer Tippett slowly gets out of the car and starts to walk over to talk to him. And as he does, he unsnaps a snap on his holster. Oswald sees that, takes 2 steps back and a step to the right, reaches into his pocket, pulls out his pistol, and from point-blank range, fires 3 shots across the hood of the car, striking Officer Tippett, knocking him dead in the street right here next to his telephone pole at 404 10th Street. Right there is exactly where it happened. His store unattended and follows that cop killer down here towards the Texas Theater. Ladies and gentlemen, the Texas Theater looks exactly like it did back in 1963. They still show movies, have events there every single day. And with Brewer hot on his heels, Oswald comes down here and he ducks through the 2 doors on the right-hand side of that ticket booth right there. This is 231. And he doesn't buy a ticket. That's it for Brewer. That's all he needs to see to prove to him this guy's acting strange and suspicious. The ticket clerk that day was a lady by the name of Julie Postal. See, fate is a very fickle thing, and believe it or not, folks, all 3 of the actors in this drama, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Jack Ruby, would all 3 be pronounced dead in the same building in Dallas, Texas. How crazy is that?